big number was U.S. Advertising was very strong, roughly 20% above what we were expecting. So very strong trends for a second quarter straight now in the U.S. And this is, again, the seasonally weak Q1 quarter. So an impressive number there. I was just looking at a couple other things that stood out to me. Total expense growth, if you exclude the FTC legal charge, came in well below management guidance for the year of the 40 to 50% range. So that came in at roughly, if you exclude that, came in at roughly 34%. That compares to our expectations of about 44%. And I know consensus was above that, looking at roughly 47% growth year over year. So that's what showed a really nice op margin beat. So we saw roughly a 42% op margin on that upside. So all in all, a good number. I was just looking at the MAU numbers, and I heard the comments earlier. I'm not too concerned about the U.S. MAU. I mean, we know that the U.S. is stalling out here.
Yeah.
But if you think about U.S. and Europe combined, I mean, you're looking at 600 million users there. You're not getting that scale anywhere else.
On the points of the users, Jim, does it matter if they're flat in the U.S. As long as they're not declining, do you think?
Well, we all knew it was going to tap out at some point. It can only grow so much. Maybe with population growth, it can continue to grow, especially if they get young people. But no, I think what's interesting here is when you take out the FTC, they grew earnings about 10% on an 8% gain in total users, which suggests to me that they're finding ways to take the existing user base and make it more profitable. If they can take that 186 million or whatever it is U.S. users and get more advertiser revenue, in other words, take share away from other advertisers, that's very impressive. And I think that trend is going to be a very important thing to watch.
Listening to this conversation, you might not realize we're talking about a company that has faced legal problems and PR problems and scandal after scandal, privacy issues, is the focus of regulators from Brussels to Washington. I mean, has this impacted their business, Jim?
Well, not very much. I mean, obviously they got the $3 billion fine sitting there, but this privacy issue, I think, is very easily solvable. I think probably they have already solved that. They've already cracked down on that. I was a little surprised to see that there wasn't more R&D expense and more costs associated with this. I mean, I thought they were trying to figure out a way how to stop fake news from getting on there, how to keep the Russians from getting in on the next election. I don't know how they solve those problems. I think that's going to be very expensive. I mean, maybe they're not trying all that hard because
maybe users don't care.
Well, the users apparently don't. I mean, again, the EU number is very interesting because the EU people, I think, are more privacy focused, and you did see a decline there earlier, but they seem to have now gotten over that. They're back on the platform. If you're into this, I don't know where else you go. And, I think most people that I talk to, they really are barely paying attention to the privacy stuff.
Mark.